Good morning, world.
Good morning.
So, I know we've been away from the journey, but we're going to get back on it. We're going to do NF Mansion.
Woo. I had a lot of recommendations for that one.
A lot.
Stay tuned. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
All right, guys, welcome back. As you know, we like to read a comment, and this comment is from our Wren featuring Chinchilla video, How to Be Me. If you guys haven't seen that, please go back and see it. And this one is hot off the presses from when I'm reading it. It's from a Daniel Harrison, and Daniel says, I'm a relatively new subscriber, so I haven't seen anything you've put out yet, but I subbed because of your authenticity. Reactions, at least the good ones, are a shared experience, which is what makes them compelling, in my opinion. They also give exposure to artists that aren't considered quote-unquote bankable to the mainstream, despite them having a ton of talent. I appreciate the different perspective you guys have and how vulnerable your reactions are. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate that. We are very authentic with our reactions, and that's why we threw away Brian's sunglasses, because he gets really authentic sometimes. Wow. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, since we are doing NF, I don't believe we are allowed to monetize these, so if you would, go to our website, cedricandbrian.com, pick up a hat, a mug, or, as Cedric set up, you can donate to the Cash App, and you can make a request on the Cash App, just like they do on Broadway in Nashville.
That's right.
Throw some money in there, our tip jar, and give us a request, and we will do it for you.
And if you haven't perused our store, it's hats and mugs and shirts and sweatshirts and tablets and pens and books and it's
my
Cedric and Brian and this and that. It's awesome. Good
All right,
stuff.
and remember, $40 or more to the Cash App. If you'd like a hat, request a hat. It is yours.
Okay.
All right.
Should we play with the title a little bit before we get started, or just jump right into
Sure, go
it?
ahead. Well, the title we were told from other videos and comments is Mansion has a lot of stuff in his later videos that reference back to this one, so this is a good place to start. So we did intro, which was before this, but I guess this is the first one that has a lot of stuff that we need to catch. So
Okay.
I hope we can catch it.
All right.
I think I'm going to put the CCs on here, the closed caption. Oh, they're unavailable, so I guess I'm going to have to really listen.
Yes.
Wow. Come on, NF, let us do the captions.
Right.
All right, so here we go. First time looking at and hearing Mansion by NF.
Insidious is blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion.
My mind is a house with walls, covered in lyrics, they're all over the place. The songs in the mirrors, written all over the floors, all over the chairs. And you get the uncut version of life when I go downstairs. That's where I write when I'm in a bad place and need to release, and let out the version of NF you don't want to see. I put holes in the walls with both of my fists till they bleed. You might get a glimpse of how I cope with all this anger in me. Physically abused, now that's the room that I don't want to be in. That picture ain't blurry at all, I just don't want to see it. And these walls ain't blank, I just think I don't want to see them. But why not? I'm in here, so I might as well read them.
Okay, I gotta stop.
Yes. It's a lot.
So we're getting into his story now.
Yeah.
Since we missed it.
Now when I'm thinking mansions here, I'm thinking, okay, was he talking about has he made it and he's buying a bigger house? But I think the mansion is a metaphor for his mind. And if you look at a mansion, it's very palatial, it's huge. And his mind has so much in it that he can't be in a studio apartment. He can't be in a shack. It's in a mansion, and in that mansion are hundreds of rooms. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sure you will tell us if he is right or not.
But like when he goes into these different rooms, and I think I missed this. He said the NF, when I go downstairs and I start writing, it's the NF you don't want to see. So when he's going into that ugly depth,
Right.
It's the NF you don't want to see. And then he just touched on it when we stopped. He went into that room. He's walking down this long hallway of his memory, and he goes into the room where he was physically abused.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's replaying it in his mind, and that's the mansion. Because he was talking about, and every room has lyrics, he said. Yeah. So every room has a story, basically.
That's awesome.
That picture ain't blurry at all. I just don't wanna see it. And these walls ain't blank. I just think I don't wanna see them. But why not? I'm in here, so I might as well read them. I gotta thank you for this anger that I carry around. Wish I could take a match and burn this whole room to the ground. Matter of fact, I think I'ma burn this room right now. Somehow this memory for some reason just moved you down. Put me in the corner so you could see the fear in my eyes. Then took me downstairs and beat me till I screamed and I cried. Congratulations. You'll always have a room in my mind, but I'ma keep the door shut and lock the lyrics inside.
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. And slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's only inside this mansion. Inside this.
You can stop.
Oh, my goodness. Whoever he's talking to, and I know, and I'm going off the cuff here, there was a great movie I just saw last week, Jesus Revolution, talks about the story of Greg Laurie and how his mom was a serial dater. So I don't know if he's talking about one of the guys that mom brought around, and this is who he's projecting his anger out to, but he's telling him, thank you for this anger, because if it wasn't for this anger you gave me, I wouldn't be able to be the artist that I am now and be able to put this into music and the art form that I use. But he said there's sometimes that he wants to just take a match and just burn it all down.
So he's talking about how he's making the decision to externalize this, to verbalize this, to put it out there. And it's a good thing with artists because, as we've seen, from a couple old heads here, many artists have troubled pasts. And there's two ways you can deal with that. If you're an artist, you can let it out in the form of your art, music, lyrics, whatever it is, poetry. If you're an athlete, maybe you let it out. You become a boxer or fighter or something where you get to use this angst that you have, because you have to let it go somewhere.
Right.
And if you're neither of those, then you get a therapist and you deal with it, or you talk to friends or pastors or priests, whatever it may be, because you have to let it go. You have to release the steam.
Right.
And so he's fortunate enough, and this is what I did back in my day, is being a musician, I would just sit in my room and I would either write songs or play music and just get lost in my head. He gets to share it with the world. It's awesome. I don't know if it takes the pain away from him, because we know a lot of artists that still end up, either taking their lives or going down drugs and alcohol, because even though they're releasing it in their art, it's not enough. It's just too much. I'm hoping with NF, I think you guys have told us that he's on the other side, or at least he's maintaining, and he's keeping his head above water by releasing this stuff. So it's good stuff. I like the visuals with the kids.
Yeah, it's one thing to talk about kids, but when you get like an image of young children and the crap they've gone through, and they do their best to smile and play and push through it,
and I hate to play what Cedric and I talked about before we did reactions, and we talked about racism and stuff like that. You look at NF, and if you put him on the street in a liberal city, people would point at him and say, look at that guy with his white privilege. They don't know his background. Right. You can't judge a book just because he's this blonde little blue-eyed kid that he had an easy life. And that's the point we try to make, that Cedric gets hate about.
Blank expression, my mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's only inside this mansion. Inside this mansion.
Yo, my mind is a house with walls covered in pain. See, my problem is I don't fix things, I just try to repaint, cover them up like it never happened. Say I wish I could change. Are you confused? Come upstairs and I'll show you what I mean. This one's full of regrets, just keeps getting fuller it seems.
You see the words on the wall?
Lies.
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 You got to pay attention to the visuals too.
Cover them up like it never happened. Say I wish I could change. Are you confused? Come upstairs and I'll show you what I mean. This one's full of regrets, just keeps getting fuller it seems. Moment I walk into it's the same moment that I wanna leave. I get sick to my stomach every time I look at these things, but it's hard to look past when this is the room where I sleep. I look around, one of the worst things I wrote on these walls was the moment I realized that I was losing my mom. And one of the first things I wrote was I wish I would've called, but I should just stop now. We ain't got enough room in this song. And I regret the fact that I struggle trying to find who I am, and I'll lie to myself and say I do the best that I can. Shrug it off like it ain't nothing, like it's out of my hand, and get ticked off whenever I see it affecting my plans. And I regret watching these trust issues eat me alive, and at the rate I'm going, I'll probably still be there when I die. Congratulations, you'll always have a room in my mind. The question is, will I ever clean the walls off in time?
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in.
I got to stop it there just for a second, because if you guys watch us, you know that we also do Ren. This has a similar, we talked about this, a similar visual with depression and anxiety. You feel like you're drowning. Again, he's using this visual. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know if it's supposed to represent his dad and he's not saving him. You know, maybe that was his abuser. I don't know. Right. You guys will tell us, because we're new to this journey. This is only, what, our fourth song we've done by him, and we did it out of order. Now we're trying to go in order. But I just thought it was interesting. We got water and drowning again, and I've told you from my past, it's one of the fears when you have anxiety. Anything?
Nope.
What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion. Inside this mansion.
So this part of my house, no one's been in it for years. I built a safe room and I don't let no one in there, cause if I do, there's a chance that they might disappear and not come back. And I admit I am emotionally scared to let anyone inside, so I just leave my doors locked. You might get other doors to open up, but this door's not, cause I don't want you to have the opportunity to hurt me, and I'll be the only person that I can blame when you desert me. I'm barricaded inside, so stop watching. I'm not coming to the door, so stop knocking. Stop knocking. I'm trapped here. God keeps saying I'm not locked. I chose this. I am lost in my own conscience. I know that shutting the world out ain't solving the problem, but I didn't build this house because I thought it would solve them. I built it because I thought that it was safer in there, but it's not. I'm not the only thing that's living in here. Fear came to my house years ago. I let him in. Maybe that's a problem, cause I've been dealing with this ever since. I thought that he would leave, but it's obvious he never did. He must have picked a room and got comfortable and settled in. Now I'm in a position to either sit here and let him win, or put him back outside where it came from, but I never can. Cause in order to do that, I'd have to open the doors. Is that me or the fear talking? I don't know anymore.
Wow. I'll say some stuff real quick. I'll make it fast. Losing his mom. I don't know if that was a image of his mom early on. I don't know if he lost her to death. I don't know if he lost her to alcoholism. I don't know if he lost her to abandonment. If he lost her to a boyfriend. But anyways, I wish I could have talked to you more and said some things. Oh. And I don't know what the chorus was. Insidious, and we never touched on that. Insidious is blind inspection, or I forgot what that was. I couldn't catch it all. And then I like when he said all these rooms in his mansion, or the memories, which are the metaphors for memories. Yeah. Do I fix them, or do I just paint over them? I thought that was cool. Like, that's not really fixing it if you paint over it, because it's still there. Right. Sometimes you got to tear it down and stuff. And I love the part where he says that safe room that he goes to, because we all have that. And I've talked to some of my former students about that. We all have certain parts of our lives that we show people. And then we all have that, like, okay, I'll give you my sports life, and I'll give you my family life, and I'll give you my classroom life. But what I do on my computer, that's my safe room. That's my safe space. I don't want you to come into that room.
But then he talked about fear, and the way he the poetry of how he did it. He goes, the fear came in and made itself comfortable. And it's like, do I just sit here and live with my fear, or do I kick it out and put it out where it was? But if I do that, I have to open the door. So to overcome fear, you know what they always say, you have to face your fear. Well, in his, it's like, I've got to face the fear of being in that room he wasn't going to open, but I got to face my fear to get rid of my fear.
Right.
It's a perfect metaphor for that. It's like, I got to put that fear outside, but I've got to overcome the fear of opening that door. It's really good.
That was good. This is definitely one of those songs, if we reviewed it 3 more times.
Yeah, we have to go over it. But, you know, again, we want to just do reactions.
Yes.
We try to catch as much as we can, and on songs with so many lyrics like this had, you know, or do you call it bars? I don't know what you call them, rap.
Bars, yes. Bars. Yes. For those of you who can relate to this, I may be wrong, so tell me if I am. I've heard stories when you're part of the military or the police department, when you're part of a traumatic incident. We've had scores of friends in this area who were part of, was it Route 99 or Route 66 in Las Vegas? That terrible shooting.
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy broke up with
the
glass and stuff.
Country festival.
But if you're a policeman or in the military and you're in a traumatic incident, they make you talk about it. They make you relive it because that's what you get through it. And like he said in this movie, if you just paint over it and smile, it's still going to be there. You gotta repair it. You gotta fix it. That means you have to talk about it.
Right. But then I like to read like the CIA type books and the assassin books, this weird stuff like that. But they talk about a lot of these guys that have to work like SEALs.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have fear and you're going to have a lot of stuff, but in their case, they have to learn how to compartmentalize it so they don't freeze. But then later, you got to open that door, take the paint off or whatever you need, decompress so that you can go on and do more of that.
Right.
But you have to learn how to close it off at times. And I think some people, there's extremes. You have some people that they're just not good to be around because they're always depressed and they're always showing their feelings. And then you have the other ones that bottle them all up and then they blow. So you have to learn how to compartmentalize when you need to. Dennis Prager talks about this. It's like you don't want to bring your stink into a room so people have to stink it. Don't bring your bad mood into the room. Like if you're at a party, there's time and a place for that. Compartmentalize it. Go through the motions, do your thing, and then go find somebody to talk to that's willing to listen. But you have to do both. And I thought that this was just great because he's letting it out in his art.
I used to always tell my students that every single one of you brings happiness. Some when you arrive, the vast majority of you when you leave. But you all bring happiness.
That's the teacher in him right there.
That's why I'm not teaching anymore.
All right. Well, thank you for telling us to go on this journey.
Yes.
You haven't let us down. We'll find the next song that's on that asterisk list we have and hit another NF probably in a few weeks.
And if the future videos like this, you can bet on it that we're going to stop more and we're going to talk more if they're all like this.
Yes.
It's just the way it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel. We need you to subscribe. Just don't watch it. If you don't subscribe, if you don't hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, you won't be notified when we put the next one out. Subscribe.
Yeah, how are we going to get to 100,000?
Yes, come on. We want the plaque.
That's right. I want to be able to put that plaque
Put in our
somewhere.
mansion in the walls.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know. Thank you so much for supporting us. And until next time, I'm Cedric.
I'm Brian. We'll see you later. Just in case people get confused. The guy who thought you were Brian.
We look so much alike. That was good.
Thank you.